Alrighty guys, so I have named my character Rath for a lot of, I don't know, I wouldn't say a lot of, most of the servers I've been in, my character's been named Rath. Anyways, right now he's Rath Dragonborn. And I am going to show you how I build my ships. I've come out a pretty decent decent distance, I would say. Currently I'm on Ragnarok, as you can see. This is a map on one of the 4 servers that I have, and I am only going out this far so that I don't have people run into me. I also came out this far because I half expected to see my ship that I had out here. And forget about it. It will be found sooner or later. So we're gonna go probably back down a little bit, stay on this line. So that we could easily find this ship when I go to find the other one. So, a raft. Very easy thing to craft. You just have to be the correct level. I like it. I used to build houses on rafts just for the mobility option. And we're going to build a ship the way that I do it. So first things first is you gotta craft a raft. Then what I do is, if you could see in my hotbar, I have the wooden foundation, I have wooden triangle, a wooden pillar, and wooden triangular ceiling. You will want to go as if you're gonna drive, and there's going to be multiple locks on where you could put this pillar. You'll place that, and then you'll place a foundation right next to it. You pick up the pillar, put it in the middle of that, then you'll get that secondary spot for your foundation. Then you'll remove the pillar and that one foundation, and you'll repeat. And you'll get as low as you possibly can. I like to go even lower. Oh. Yeah, even lower than that. See how it's already pretty low. I want to go lower. See, on primitive plus, if you go lower like that, you'll be able to place logging or lumber stations, which are very useful in a mobile base. And you'll take wooden foundation and surround the entire raft. Now what I do to expand it is I place a ceiling, place foundation underneath it, pick the ceiling up, and repeat right next to it. Now you can go out further than that if you would like, but I always like to, and I'm sorry about the water. Like I said, I'm pretty far out, so it kinda tends to do that. Then what I like to do is I like to make it wider, so that I have more room on the inside and up top. And you'll make it wider on both sides if you prefer it that way. You can make a smaller boat and not make it as wide. I tend to not go so quick when I'm building a ship, mainly for the fact that you can go and switch each and every one of these to blocks, and if you don't do it all, let's say you place the ceiling and then switch it and then place a new ceiling and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Anyways, it takes a lot longer when you don't switch it to blocks right away. This is where these ones get tricky. You gotta be a certain distance away from the raft, and this one's even harder to get a hold of, so sometimes it's easy to go underneath. And with that one square you left open in the middle, you can get back on the raft. I block that off after I'm done with the build, and I would love to show you why, but I'll tell you instead. It's a lot safer if you leave a different opening to get on your ship, and you're still able to access the raft itself, as you can see. Even if it didn't, or even if it did have a foundation in the middle, you could still get on from the top. Now again, I made like a quick 2-second video not too long ago, but once I started making the video it turned night, and like I said in the video, I didn't want to change it from night to day because we have people in this server right now. Not many, but we do have some people. You get a certain distance and then you can let me go 2 more out. Okay, you get a certain distance and you'll be able to start laying your triangular foundation, or triangular ceilings. And you'll want to make sure that they actually lock touching this foundation here, because what you're going to do is you're going to make your tip of your ship after you make the tip of the ship, you're going to remove all of the foundation underneath it. Yep, so we got that. That's the tip of the ship. And we go underneath, and if the settings are properly put on your server, you can go through and remove every single one of these underneath the triangular ceiling without the whole thing falling apart. And then we'll take a triangular foundation, and the ceiling will allow you to place it where it should go. I'm sorry about the audio in the video. This is my first one. I was kind of debating not making videos, but then I had too many people say that I should at least make these shipbuilding videos. That'll go away. Okay. So you pretty much do the same thing in the back. You take it. And you repeat the steps, so on and so forth. I will be right back. Alright, let's get back to it. The same steps in the back. You take the ceiling and you expand it. Now you have to remember that you have certain height restrictions. Say I want my ship that length. I need to make the front shorter and the back longer. And I will show you why. You take your wall. Say you want your ship only that short, which I wouldn't do, because I'd rather my ship be big if I can make it bigger. You know, you place the wall and you find yourself looking at a wall when you're traveling. You have to look up a lot to be able to see. So what you're going to do is, with that, you're going to want to find yourself a decent medium. Perfect. Say you don't want your back that far away, so you can move it forward. Perfect. So there. Now I like to put those triangle foundation on the back just to give it that little curvy look. And I also like to, and this may seem pointless after the ship has already partially been built, is I take stone and I replace all the wooden foundation with stone. This will give you safety traveling through Ragnarok or whatever server you're on with those crazy water animals, sharks and so on. First ship I ever built I made out of strictly wood, and I regretted it. I went with a friend to go collect some Rex eggs in a server that I had paid for with in-game currency, of course, Rex eggs for him. And we lost 3 Rex eggs because of how far away it was, first off, and we were both not that high of a level. My ship was made out of wood, and the whole rear end of my ship was completely destroyed because a shark decided to follow us all the way back to our area. And we made it back to our area just in time for that shark to destroy the whole rear of the ship where the egg was. So we had to literally repeat the same thing. Now see, even with stone, you'll see it on the raft, but like you just saw, you're able to still get on it. I'm not going to, because it's gonna waste a lot of time that we just put in here. But you'll go through and you will turn all these stone into blocks. I'm just gonna do the outside. Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to put more safety up. Put some stone wall on the first layer. You can make it a lot bigger than this if the settings are correct. I can make it a lot bigger than this, but I really did not want to waste the time. We're already at 21 minutes because of my annoying ass voice and our build itself. Now with those stone foundation turned into blocks, they match with the wall, which I love the look. I like to leave a couple squares out of the bottom to be able to get onto the raft if you ever fall in the water. Currently I'm not quite sure where my ship went, the one that I live on here in this server. I like to put it far away so that people can't find it, and obviously it works because I can't even find it. Anyways, I like to take this wall, the wooden wall, and I like to flip the first layer. Now you don't have to, you could keep it how it is if you would like. That's your build. I'm just basically showing you the bottom. So that you guys can figure it out. I don't want you guys to copy the exact ships that I have, but I do want to help out at least with the floor of the ships, mainly because I looked for months for a ship video on YouTube and I could not, which was a pain in the ass. I like to, even on my land builds, I like to flip the second layer and return the third layer right back to normal. Just gives it more of a modern look. And without the primitive plus builds, it also kind of makes it look neat. It's not something you would see normally on somebody's build. And then you would, of course, take some ceiling. No, I'm not even gonna line it all up, but you could to make it match with the rest of it, so it lines up. Me, I'm just gonna be a little quicker about it. Like I said, the next video I won't talk as much, I promise. And I will also, instead of recording it like this, I will record it and then just do a normal build video where I can speed it up and give you guys the exact amounts of materials you'll need. I'll make it look more professional. This one was more of a, I said I was gonna do it, so I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to remember that you only have a small and it's not small enough. Okay, so what you would do is when building it, you would make it a little further back. So that your captain's quarters isn't only one block, because there you have the ability to see where you are going. Now forget about this build. Okay, this is just pretty much to show you how to expand the raft so that you can build something along the lines of this. I will show you the build that I have posted to Facebook so you'll be able to see it in a picture. So pretty much I did what I just showed you with the expansion. I put a nice little pool because I put stone underneath the raft. So with that, you can't just get on the raft. You can't go up and click and try to get on. No. So my water entrance would be underneath my ship. It's more like a pool. Yeah, it's nice. You're still able to steer it and move it. They have a weight limit, but the weight limit really has only been affected whenever I tried to move Thames. So as you can see, I got two hatch frames, large hatch frames, to simulate a decent ship. A lot of pirate ships had hatch frames. I just am more so into the look of the pirate ships. Okay, and with the hatch frames, I put the stairs, obviously. I'm able to place chests pretty much anywhere down here. If this was Primitive Plus, I could put a lumber station down here too, as long as it's attached or touching the raft itself. A lot of the times you're not able to do that on ships, especially like over here, or if it's not lowered, the foundation, if it's not sunk into the raft itself. Closing these, we got the deck, captain's quarters, which honestly, even with the settings correct, you can't place much up here because it'll say it's too far away from the structure or the platform, which doesn't make sense because you're able to place all this stuff up here. But anyways, we got up here where a captain would stand and whatever. Anyways, I did the same concept with the bottom of the ship, and this is how it turns out. You get yourself a beautiful pirate looking ship, or just a beautiful yacht looking ship on Ark Survival. Best thing about this is you can also put dino gates on the sides here if you wanted to. You could knock out these 4 walls, put a fence foundation on this foundation right here, and then it'll give you a snap point to lock it into place and line it up correctly with the walls. Once doing that, I wouldn't do it all the way up here up front because it'll block your vision, it'll block your sight, and once you do that, you're able to match it with the rest of the ship, make it look decent. Mainly I just wanted to make this again to show you guys to sink it into the raft. So I guess thank you for watching, and I appreciate all the people who forced me to make this video.